Welcome to the introduction to mindfulness of the breath. It's really important to get comfortable with the breath. One reason is it's where we always start our meditation practice. It's the center of this practice, which has 6 steps, like 6 concentric circles. The next, after breath being in the center, is body. And then next, after body, is emotion. And then thinking. And then the mind, and finally, how to take this all out to everyday life. So noticing the breath is something to spend some time with because it's the entry point or at the center of every sitting we do. And from here we build on top of it. I was asked recently, what's it mean to follow the breath? Following the breath means simply noticing the physical sensations within your body which are associated with breathing. You feel air at the tip of the nose, in the nostrils, the back of the throat. You notice the shoulders rising and falling, the chest swelling and shrinking again. However you feel breathing the easiest, where it's the most obvious to you. That's following the breath. Another question arises. What's mindfulness? Mindfulness is simply noticing or being aware of something. When we are mindful of the breath, we are carefully noticing what happens in our body when we breathe. Attending to the breath is another good way of putting it, because it means more depth, feeling, engagement with breathing instead of just noticing or looking at the breath. So why meditate on the breath? Meditation is like training. It is training the mind to come back to the present moment experience. Most of the time, for most of our lives, our minds are lost in the past, remembering things, reliving moments, or in some projected future, worrying about things that never usually occur. Meditation is practice or training in breaking this lifelong habit, so we can notice what's happening in and around us right now. So what's so important about the present moment and what's happening in the now? Our lives only occur in the now. It's the only thing that's real. Memories of the past and projections of the future are mental fabrications and are not really happening. Possibly more importantly, judgment, criticism flourish in the world of the wandering mind. Judgments about right and wrong, good and bad, ugly and pretty, criticisms of ourselves and others, how we look, dress, talk. These judgments abound when our attention is not on the present moment. So the goal of mindfulness meditation is ease with what is happening in our lives right here and now. The method we use is to carefully attend to the breath. Breathing only occurs in the now, in the present moment. As we strengthen our ability to follow the breath, the wandering mind begins to become more and more quiet. And when the mind does wander, with practice it becomes much easier to be aware of the wandering and bring ourselves back to the present moment, where peace exists. And that's a key idea. Peace and happiness exist in the now, and confusion, pain, and unhappiness exist in the fantasy world of the wandering mind, the world of discursive thinking and judgment. There may be some skepticism about what I just said. Good. Find out for yourself. That's what this practice is all about. Do a few guided meditations on the breath and see how it feels to just simply be present for the breath. Then sometime when your mind is busy, maybe driving home from work in traffic, stressed out, try the technique you've practiced in your sitting meditation. Simply bring the mind to the breath and let go of all the thinking. See what happens. Watch your body relax as the stress dissipates. This will be the topic for unit number 2 of this series, Awareness of the Body. It starts getting really fun and exciting as life starts to become a little easier, as you become aware of what living in the now can do to your quality of life. But it all starts with sitting. So one last really important thing. Be really easy on yourself. Have fun. This practice is not about making anything special happen. It is simply about noticing what is happening right now. If you sit and follow your breath for 2 or 3 breaths, and then your mind wanders, as it always will, and eventually you bring your mind back to the breath, you've done the practice. Don't worry about how many breaths you follow for now. Just sit and notice what happens when you try to follow the breath. So a good thing to do would be to sit for 20 minutes every day for at least a week and practice following the breath. Do these sittings without expectation or judgment of yourself. Simply start to get a little friendly with the breath and the world of the here and now. Because on here we will build the rest of your practice.